Welcome back to another YouTube video, guys. I know I haven't posted in a while. Since summer has begun, it's been 4 days. And what better way to relax than to start making YouTube productivity videos? So my third year of high school, I'm applying to college, and obviously you start comparing yourself to others. This comparison isn't limited only to, celebrities, but also to people in our own high school. It got me thinking about why I feel that some people are better than me or more talented than me. The difficult thing is that these people that you compare yourselves to in high school, you see them every day. It's not a secret how they got so good. It's just practice. With this thought in mind of deliberate practice, I realized that a lot of us high school students were not taught in school how to practice deliberately. I probably was spending a lot of time practicing ineffectively. The same thing goes for a lot of high school students as well. So the way you really want to be doing work is a technique called deep work, which was first coined by Cal Newport. He's a professor at Georgetown University, and basically he defined deep work as professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to replicate. Basically what he's saying is that in order to get better at a skill, you have to do deliberate and focused practice. It may sound easy on paper or when I'm saying it out loud to you, but the truth is that there's a lot more nuance and subtlety than, a high schooler might think it is. So before going on to talking about, deep work and the framework, it's first good to understand why there's a problem with the way we work in the first place. So how often do you pick up your phone when you're working and you just see what notification popped up and then put it back down? That's an example of being in a distracted mindset. This prevents you from going into a concentrated one. So looking at your phone for even a second can, bring up a bunch of unconscious thoughts. For example, are my friends texting? Am I missing out on anything? And all these thoughts that can impede on your ability to enter a concentrated mindset. There are always going to be thoughts, floating around about you missing out on an event or on a friend's text because you just didn't look at your phone during that time. One of the ways that you can improve your concentration is by using the deep work strategies that I'm about to tell you that, students, high school students like me can apply to our lives. So you should be able to too. So before we go any further, we need to distinguish between what is deep work and what is shallow work. The key difference is that deep work is performed in a distraction-free environment, whereas shallow work is less cognitively demanding and you often perform it while distracted. The key here is to determine which of your tasks are deep work tasks and which of them are shallow work tasks. You want to label each task as deep work or shallow work. That way you know what kind of mindset you have to switch into before doing that task. So now that you've labeled the specific tasks that are going to be deep work, we're going to look at the bigger picture and how you can implement deep work into your life in general. And there's different strategies to do this. There's firstly monastic, which means that you isolate yourself for a long period of time without distractions and you don't do any shallow work. Another one is bimodal, where for a few days you work doing only deep work tasks, fully engrossed, and then afterwards you take a rest doing shallow work. The next one is rhythmic, where you take 3 to 4 hours as one chunk in your day and you do solely deep work in that chunk and everywhere else is up to you. Last one is journalistic, where you alternate between shallow and deep work whenever you have pockets of time that are available for the specific task that you want to do. After choosing the type of method you want to work with, for high school students, that's going to be mostly rhythmic. All you want to do is just schedule that 3 to 4 hour block into your calendar so that you know when you have to be focused and doing deep work. And it may seem simple at first, I'm just going to be focused during this 3 to 4 hour period. Why do I have to think about anything else? But being intentional with your time is what's important here. I'm not going to sacrifice my mental space for anything else. With the advent of social media and technology, teenagers, especially high schoolers, are finding it difficult to concentrate for long periods of time. Similar to, like bodybuilding, we have to train our concentration, and here are some strategies that can help you do that. One of the strategies is that you can schedule internet use. Instead of scheduling periods of time where you work, you instead schedule periods of time where you can use the internet. And as a result, you're not reaching for your phone every single second you feel bored. You're forcing yourself to take stock of the moment, to be present instead of grabbing your phone to watch YouTube, to get your mind off of things, or because you have 5 to 10 minutes of waiting time. By scheduling periods of time where you have internet, the periods of time outside of that block force you to be confronted with boredom maybe, or help you find something else to do and not just go for the first impulse that comes to your mind, which is obviously to pick up your phone. Another strategy is to practice productive meditation. Cal Newport describes it as a period of time where you're occupied physically but not mentally. So for example, walking, jogging, driving, showering, and you can focus your attention on a single well-defined professional problem. When you're running or jogging, instead of listening to music, you might be thinking about the outline for your English paper that you have to write. By focusing on the outline for your English paper, you're forcing yourself to come up with headers, topic sentence maybe, quotes that you may use. You might wander off, look at the road, look at the sky, and you might forget a little bit of what you were thinking about. You always want to bring your attention back to the central problem that you're doing. As a result, you're training your ability to stay concentrated on a single task. Another way to develop your concentration could be to find a high value leisure activity instead of doing shallow activities such as scrolling through Instagram, watching Netflix. Finding a hobby that requires you to concentrate or to at least put in some amount of effort can increase your concentration. For example, playing guitar forces you to focus on getting the right chord shapes, being in rhythm, listening to the song, and all of that practice when you're doing a hobby can help contribute to your concentration when you're doing work that actually matters. So I just outlined a very brief framework for deep work that you can apply to your life. And now this is very general. It can get more specific, but at this moment, just try getting started doing work that is focused instead of multitasking between social media. We all know that practice and hard work makes a difference, but we sometimes don't realize that the practice has to be focused and disciplined. Whether it be a personal or professional problem, being able to command your attention and focus on the problem at hand is an essential skill that you'll use throughout your entire life. With that said, most of the information in this video was pretty obvious, but it's just difficult to implement. Hopefully, by following the tips I mentioned and the outline that I presented for deep work, you'll be able to implement this in your own life. And if you can create a routine that allows you to do deep work consistently, you will be amazed at what you can accomplish.